and becomes the disease because the soul is indestructible. It changes and morphs into the disease. It changes with the music and the various frequencies and notes. They even had a thing called rhapsody. Is there any wonder how modern rhapsody or rap music was used to distort and corrupt the ideal self? But the ideal self of a society doesn't necessarily have to be determined and manipulated by outside forces who don't have your best interest in mind. They can be held in high regard by its members who are steadfast in their convictions. The elders have a crucial role to play. The rite of passages must be established and enforced to ensure the proper function and continuation of the ideals of the group. Otherwise, you will find yourself changing with the wind and weather. You have individual success and group success, and we must participate in both aspects. There are definitely limitations to individual success. For example, a life cannot come into existence only with one person, and it takes a group of people to participate to ensure a successful delivery. Once the life is born, it still takes a group of people to sustain the life until adulthood. This is objective success, and the same is true for your subjective endeavors. Throughout life, you will constantly find yourself being part of teams, competing against other teams or groups. At the job, political apparatus, even when you court a mate, you must deal with their families or community. Even with economics, which usually lead to local, national, and global conflicts, are between groups of people and their opposing interests. Objective success of the group is to exist and have participation in the physical world. It can always grow. When things exist as an idea, this is the mental world, which interconnects both the spiritual and physical worlds. You participate as a member of the group to ensure your interests are met, which could be to provide for your family. From this perspective, group success is necessary for your individual success. You contribute to the success of the group, and in turn, you get your allocated portion. In ancient Egyptian philosophy, this is known as reciprocity. There is no group success without individual success, because a group is comprised of individuals. The group will die without members, because the group is interested in the individual success as far as economics and prestige. When the individual succeeds, the group succeeds. If the individual member fails, the group fails. So it is incumbent upon the group to cultivate and empower the individual members in order to ensure its longevity and survival. Groups have a propensity to favor and include members who belong to their racial demographic. They have an allegiance to their own people. Hiring practices usually reflect the ethnicity of the dominant group in authority. A group is a group of individuals who share values and interests and genetic predisposition, who are interested in their political, economic, and mundane success. This is why we see groups who are only concerned with members of their own ilk. How can you call yourself a member of a community who has no support groups to assist its members? You can exist as an isotope or free radical and succeed, but you're prone to being captured by any group that exists if they need your expertise and adoption. Subjective group success is when you think the grass is greener, the ice is colder, or the skin is better, or when you flee your country seeking a better life. Some cultures view financial control of industries as success. Others view conquering land as success. Most of the world's human population are trying to achieve pale skin and genetic predisposition. Some societies believe the purpose of life is to improve the race by turning the skin white. But you determine the truth of a thing by protecting its ultimate end or goal. If this proceed until the end of time, what will be the outcome? When you achieve pale skin, then what? If your idea of success is the outer layer of the epidermis, all you have to do is find a person of the opposite sex with the desired skin tone and other phenotypical traits and intermix with them. This will guarantee the next generation will be one step closer to achieving your ultimate goal, pale skin. But this is still considered subjective success because the results are based on your choices and activities, desires. This is known as eugenics and is the primary policy of the United States, Australia, South Africa, and Nazi Germany. Because the skin tone fluctuates, you must constantly reciprocate the desired traits throughout the generations to maintain the desired levels. Michael Jackson and Sammy Sosa and many others in the world were able to achieve pale skin in their own lifetime. Some turn white with the ancient biblical skin disease, leprosy. They want to improve the flesh. They want those genetic predispositions to prevail and must preserve and cultivate those in its possession. They want protection from racism. But let us consider the various surfaces of the different fleshes of the creatures. The climate and sun mandate change to the surface of the flesh to ensure adaptation. You resist to your own detriment. Perhaps the sun will send out a genetic vibration mandating your DNA to change. Due to your desire to maintain, you will hate the children of different hues outside your desired skin tone. When you think of rich people, you think of pale skin. When you think of poor people, you think of dark skin. But pale skinned people came to power and wealth through murder and conquest. They came to America with nothing. After discussing objective and subjective individual and group success, this leads us to everlasting success. Everlasting success deals with the aftermath or the inevitable end of life. From a religious perspective, it is about the soul. From an objective perspective, it is about your physical offspring. Survival is objective, everlasting success. We succeed the previous generations and are survived by our offspring. From a subjective perspective, it is about your legacy and contributions that you leave to the world during your pursuit of subjective success. Also, the inheritance you left to certain people, groups, and institutions. The everlasting success of a people or civilization is their glory. The glory is the celebration of what they have accomplished. A person or people's glory is a demonstration of their success. The buildings, parks, schools, infrastructure, art, music, food, culture, movies, technology left behind to benefit the world. We are the glory of God. Can a people's glory be lost or stolen? Look at Ye. Adidas is trying to steal his glory. The black man's glory has constantly been stolen throughout the ages. It has happened to the point that he himself was stolen and forced to create for others with no ownership rights or compensation. Industries, societies, countries, even families became immensely wealthy from his historic exploitation. He has been deprived the right and opportunity to succeed due to racism policies in the U.S. and other parts of the world. Another example of everlasting success is Abraham Lincoln waging the American Civil War to free the enslaved Negroes in the United States. Dr. Martin Luther King and the Civil Rights Movement led by black Americans to bring about changes to the racist policies of segregation and lynching and the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Immigration Reform Act of 1965. People are benefiting from these legacies long after their deaths. Not to mention, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. has children who possess his genetic predisposition. In the Holy Bible, the ultimate goal of life is to establish heaven on earth, to fuse heaven and earth together, to live with God forever. If your name is written in the book of life, the ancient Egyptians believed that the soul reincarnated forever until you achieve your purpose and your heart is lighter than a feather. Then you can ascend beyond the physical plane. In Islam, everlasting success is in the hereafter after living according to God's will. To reiterate, life is success. Success is good. We must achieve success in all aspects of life, from political, economic to relationships, and that leads to procreation. Your salvation lies in those who require your success, who succeed the previous generations.